How hard is it to become a breeder? What's the challenges when becoming a great breeder? What'll take you from being good to great? A guy I believe named Jim Collins wrote a book called Good to Great. I would encourage you to read it. It talks about level 5 leaders. T-Fit here. Fit Bully TV. Guys, please keep taking care of your dogs. Please learn as much as you can about business. Please don't overthink it. Please don't stress the dog. Please don't stress yourself. Please be better. We're going to slow down, and I'm going to try my best to make this make sense. I've showed you before in other videos that there's a difference in the American Bully almost by the dog. We've got more Terrier over here. Zara. She's doing her thing. And we've got more Bulldog over here. And here's the thing, beyond a reasonable doubt, both dogs are bigger than pit bulls. And the pit bull, if you watch the other video, has 150 years of history, definitive history, outlining basically what the dog is, what it does, how it should look, what it's capable of, etc., etc. So when you're asking yourself, and I get the question all the time, could you give me some advice on getting into breeding if I were to start today? If you plan on breeding because you love dogs, you'll always be okay. You don't need my advice, to be clear. If you're breeding simply because you love breeding and it is not about the money, you'll always be fine. Because people who need or who like your dogs, they'll always find you. If you're breeding for the purposes of money, you better have the best dogs on earth long term, because we know the power of a review nowadays. And people can get online and trash you. And even worse, if you're doing it for the purposes of money, just in my experience, a lot of times care and quality isn't always there. And then there's a lack of reality. So she's 3 years old, I believe, and some change. She's definitely 3 years old, I believe, and some change. And over the 3 years, I had to take care of her, pour into her, train her, feed her, love her, teach her how to be the best her. And Jamarcus has been an assistant in Maya's development. I raised her for the first year and some change, probably first 2 years realistically. And then now it's been a joint effort, to say the least, where we all are invested definitely in her overall well-being. And guess what? She's gotten better too. 2 for 4 on her. 2 for 4 on her. We've done a couple breedings. 2 didn't work. I paid the money. And we didn't get nothing out of it. And then the second one, we got 2 dogs. 4 had cleft palates and cleft lips. I told them before this dog was going to be the dog that caused me the most problems, health-wise. This dog has been 3 for 3. And every time we bred her, wham, wham, boom, boom, bam. Terriers are often more healthy. You never heard realistically a problem getting a what? A pit bull pregnant. She's not a pit bull, but you didn't hear a lot of problems with that pit bull getting pregnant. Bulldogs, unfortunately, at times they do have some challenges. Not saying all of them, not saying there's any problem. Chris Moore, shout out to my guy Bulky Bill, they have no issues. But let's take a look at the business. I'm gonna try to make this quick and simple. Guys, bullies, how much do they cost? $3,000 to $30,000 or more. Let's say you buy mid-range. Say you buy one for 10. Let's say you buy one for 3. You buy, let's say, a female for 10,000 because you believe this is the female that's going to get me going, and then you buy a male for 3,000. You're now what, $13,000 in. But let's just say you buy a girl. You got to wait 2 years, find a person to breed her to. But let's assume, like her, in year 2, we start dealing with problems. Now, not only am I losing money, not only am I not getting what I thought I was going to get, now this dog begins to annoy me. And not me, we're fine. Maya, you literally forget Maya's around. If it didn't work, there was even not even a plan 2 on her. If it didn't work, it just didn't work. We got to move on. Be very clear and saying she was only $1,300, $1,350. And soon a ganga for those that are Hispanic watching. That means it was a deal. Now let's say they have 3 to 10 pups. Somewhere in here, you're going to try to price your dogs between 3 and 5 if you want to be fair. And that means you have to know exactly who you're selling to. Breeders, a lot of times, are greeders, aka they're greedy, because they believe they've done something that not even God himself could do. Well, I got this dog. You like, my man, chill. I try my best to sell to no breeders. They're to be clear, they're a little over the top. They're relatively annoying. They're too prideful, egotistical, and arrogant. And at the end of the day, it's all a matter of taking care of a dog to the best of your ability. So when I come in and I wrote our business model up, as I said before, pet home options. In this over here, there was a second female. There are people who would pay a lot of money to have a dog because of the brand I've built from Zara. I could have sold a second pick female, be it my pick was the first pick, for probably $8,000. Definitely no less than $5,000, and people would have paid that. I sold her to a pet home for $3,000 because I'd rather this dog go and live a great life than be somewhere having no life. And unfortunately, people look at dogs and they're commodities. A commodity is like a Nike shoe. You throw it in the trash when you're done with it. I put this up here because the average household makes about $70,000. What I want you to do for me, now some people have got it good, so that's fine, is ask your average everyday friend or even somebody you bump into on the street, hey, how much money do you have in your savings account? There's a guy who does it on TikTok and it looks cool because I got $1 million, I got 500, I got $10 million. Good for them. Realistically, the people that are up and down your street often do not have $7,000 saved. It's not unrealistic. The average home doesn't even have $400 for a rainy day fund. So all of a sudden, you're $13,000 in if you took the less and then somewhere in the middle, which would technically be about $15,000. Let's say you're 13 in and you like, I'm gonna sell every dog for this. Nobody knows who you are. It's your first breeder. You think you're going to get this price? Somebody might pay you that price because, people will pay what you tell them, the price is. 3% of the $70,000 is $2,100. Someone might say, you know what? I could find $2,000 to $3,000 or $900 more dollars. I believe this number's right. $900 more dollars if the average medium's this, meaning 2 people and some kids live in this particular home. I could find a couple extra dollars and come up with $3,000. And even more importantly, plus the care, long term, how much is the family going to spend taking care of the dog? I spent $2,000 last month or 2 months, probably more than that now, but $2,000 feeding 5 dogs all raw cooked food. That's just their cost. I have to eat as well. I have to go to the gym, the membership. Cars need gas. We bought some clothes to help with you go down the line, it gets expensive to do well or to be great or be better. So I say I'd rather do this all days because these pet home people often dog lovers. And if my dog goes and gets how much it costs them to care for the dog, they don't care because they'll do anything for their dogs. And it won't be based on the fact that they feel like they're losing something. Oh man, I lost my money, I'm losing my... Bro, you're supposed to care for the dog anyway. So we're all rolling the dice. 2-year investment on a female. I told you don't buy your boys, but if you buy your boys, you got a boy and a girl now, and you're going to breed them. This is going to take 3 heats. Some of you going to rush the process, which is foolish. 3 heats are 2 years old. He can start busting a nut at about 7 to 9 months. His semen often is most viable between years 3 and 5. Prices, to be realistic with yourself even, in my opinion, should range between $3,000 and $5,000 for your first breeding. And guess what? I'll link an AKC study to this so you can see. They say, hey, how often should you breed your females? Well, you can breed them back to back to back. So let's say you do 3 breedings, boom, she should be done. 4 breedings tops. In 3 breedings, you basically go from taking a loss. This is technically a minus sign. You go from taking a loss to now making some of your money back if you're operating under the pretense that you're running a business. Great breeders take care of their dogs. They give you the information you need to take care of their dogs since they're selling you the dogs. If you're breeding, they teach you how to breed with their program, through their program, and with other programs or with dogs that would complement your dog, and they'll assist in your growth in this space. There's a lot of people who are starting to breed, and I respect and appreciate even some of the questions you guys are asking, but the other question I have is, why didn't your breeder walk you through the challenges he's faced over the past 10, 20 years? And even more importantly, why didn't he tell you what would work best to build your program? We can't breed every dog. So if you are going to breed my dog, the least I could do is tell you I don't think that's a good idea. Now, it's going to be difficult for me and anybody who buys a dog from me moving forward because I don't breed for a look. I breed for performance. The dog's going to look like a dog. That's the facts. If it can't do nothing, it's not a dog that I want in relation to me anyway. Being a great breeder is very simple. Take care of the dogs. Find a way to communicate. And your brand then has to have value. Value, I put plus there. Why? Because value is not what you think you are, it's what you give to others. And then for a brand to be valuable, it needs to be visible. Isn't it ironic how many people put Bossy's this and Bossy's that? They're probably one of the largest brands in relation to dogs at this moment in time via the internet. So when you get a Bossy dog, you feel like you have a special dog, and they have no problem continuing to, in some sense, kind of keep her legacy alive, because it's all Bossy's this, Bossy's that. They want you to know it came from Bossy. And that just keeps Cat's legacy rolling, because now you can't even get, your dog has more value to it automatically because of the brand and its visibility. Guys, we'll talk more in great detail, but I really want you to think and run numbers. Average house makes $70,000. 10% of 70,000 is 7,000. 9 out of 10 people that most people know don't have 7,000 in their bank account, let alone spend 7,000 in a month. It would not be unrealistic for a person to find an extra $900 if you took 3% of that to pay you $3,000. You keep paperwork. And we'll talk about how we set up our business at some point in time. The price range on a bully is anywhere from $3,000 to $30,000, in some cases more. Breeding, because that is the name of the business, you're either going to start with a boy or a girl. This is stud services. You can, in some sense, be more successful here because you don't have to do this. But because I'm trying to control a specific look and an outcome, I have to do this. So I have this and this. Hunter does all of our stud services. Jamarcus will as well. For any dogs that you don't see on my page, Tron, Bam Bam, Ego will never be outside, will not be used outside of our program. If they so choose to allow Ego's son to be bred, that is on them. I don't care. 2 years is a healthy time to wait to ensure that your female is grown up, is mature, and is healthy to carry puppies and do what these two dogs are doing. I mean, look at this. I literally don't do anything. I've not put one of these dogs on the nipple. I did have to help one of Maya's kids because they was walking into this wood the other day whining. I go, Jesus Christ. No, don't tell me this. Don't tell me. Here goes this dumb stuff already. Maya's not the brightest, unfortunately. And I was like, yo, who's whining over here? And it just kept walking into this wood. And so I had to redirect, put him over here. Ah, there it is. You go, Jesus Christ. There's ours kids on the other hand. I put the mountain over here, so they didn't find the nipple, they get on the nipple. It just makes my life so much easier. And you can see literally the difference between, even at this stage, being less than 2 weeks old, the intelligence. The intelligence, what's funny is one of these dogs that gets stuck on the blanket and cry. You let him out the blanket, they're like, I got it. I'm looking at all these little things this early. And now their eyes are open, so it's like, okay, bet. I just ordered some new stuff. Stay tuned, because it's about to get magical in here. Building a business is simple, people. Know your business. And as always, take care of the dogs. Guys, if you like this kind of stuff, again, Jamarcus will tell me the kind of stuff you're responding to. I don't read comments. Message me on Instagram at FitBullyKennels for those that have more questions. And if I can be of any service and assistance, I will keep dropping gems and realistically just information to help us all be better. Stay tuned. Take care of your dogs, people.